The Odyssey is an epic poem written by the ancient Greek poet Homer. The story follows the journey of the Greek hero Odysseus as he travels home after fighting in the Trojan War. Along the way, he faces numerous challenges and adventures, including battles with monsters, encounters with gods and goddesses, and struggles to reunite with his wife and son. Here is a retelling of the story of the Odyssey. Part 1: The Return Home. Odysseus, the king of Ithaca, sets out on a journey to return home after fighting in the Trojan War. However, his journey is fraught with danger and obstacles. He and his crew land on the island of the Lotus Eaters, where they are given a flower that causes them to forget their homes and families. Odysseus manages to drag his men back to their ship and continues their journey. Next, they encounter the Cyclops Polyphemus, a one-eyed giant who traps Odysseus and his men in his cave. Odysseus cleverly blinds Polyphemus and manages to escape with his men, but not before incurring the wrath of the god Poseidon, Polyphemus' father. Odysseus and his crew then encounter Aeolus, the god of the winds, who gives Odysseus a bag of winds to help him on his journey. However, when his men open the bag, they are blown off course and end up back on Aeolus Island. This time, Aeolus refuses to help them and sends them away. Next, they come to the island of the sorceress Circe, who turns Odysseus' men into pigs. With the help of the god Hermes, Odysseus is able to resist Circe's magic and forces her to turn his men back into human form. He stays with Circe for a year before she advises him to seek the advice of the blind prophet Tiresias in the underworld. Odysseus and his men then journey to the land of the dead, where he speaks to Tiresias and learns of the challenges that lie ahead. He also speaks to his mother, who has died during his absence. Part 2: The Challenges Ahead. After leaving the underworld, Odysseus and his men encounter the Sirens, who sing a hypnotic song that lures sailors to their deaths. Odysseus has his men plug their ears with wax and tie him to the mast of the ship so that he can hear the song without being drawn in. Next, they must pass through the narrow strait between the sea monster Scylla and the whirlpool Charybdis. Despite losing several men to Scylla's grasp, they manage to make it through. They then arrive on the island of Helios, where Odysseus warns his men not to eat the sacred cattle. However, they ignore his warning and feast on the cattle, incurring the wrath of Helios. As punishment, Zeus destroys their ship, and Odysseus is the only survivor. Part 3: The Return to Ithaca. Odysseus washes up on the island of the nymph Calypso, who keeps him as her lover for 7 years. However, he longs to return home to his wife, Penelope, and his son, Telemachus. The god Hermes convinces Calypso to let Odysseus go, and he builds a raft to leave the island. However, Poseidon continues to punish Odysseus for blinding his son, Polyphemus, and sends a storm to destroy his raft. Odysseus washes up on the island of the Phaeacians, where he tells the story of his journey to King Alcinous and Queen Arete. They are impressed by Odysseus' tale and offer to help him get home. The Phaeacians give Odysseus a ship and send him on his way. He finally arrives on the shores of Ithaca, but Athena, the goddess of wisdom and war, disguises him as a beggar so that he can gather information about his kingdom and plan his revenge against the suitors who have been courting his wife, Penelope. Odysseus learns that Penelope has remained faithful to him and has been staving off the suitors by telling them that she must finish weaving a burial shroud for Odysseus' father before she can remarry. However, she secretly undoes her work each night. Odysseus reveals his true identity to his son Telemachus, and together they plan to take back the kingdom from the suitors. With the help of Athena, they kill the suitors and restore order to Ithaca. Odysseus is reunited with his wife Penelope, and they live happily ever after. The Odyssey is a story of perseverance, courage, and the power of love and family to overcome even the greatest of obstacles.